Okay, just take a second and think about the last maybe hour of your life. Was your phone nearby?
Huh. Probably right there in your hand or definitely within reach.
Exactly. It's just always there, this little portal to, well, pretty much everything. But have you ever actually stopped and wondered how we even got here? How this thing came to be?
Well, that's precisely what we're diving into today. We're going beyond just the latest features or apps. We want to trace the whole incredible journey of the phone.
Right, from that very first idea, that spark, all the way to the supercomputer that, lives in your pocket now.
We've got some really interesting pieces here that track this evolution.
And our mission really is to connect those dots for you, to understand the key moments, the inventions, and I guess ultimately why this device is just so central to everything now.
So let's dial it back, way back. Think about the world around, say, 1850.
1850, okay. Communicating with someone far away, what did that even look like?
Well, it basically meant either traveling to see them face to face or, writing a letter by hand.
And then waiting. Days. Weeks, maybe. For a reply to come back. Slow doesn't even begin to cover it.
It really puts into perspective how isolated people could be communication-wise. The cutting-edge tech back then for distance was the telegraph.
Ah, the telegraph. Dots and dashes, right. Morse code. Seems so basic now. What were the big downsides besides just speed?
Yeah, it was groundbreaking for its time, don't get me wrong,
Oh, yeah.
but hugely limited. You could only send short messages, coded messages, not exactly a flow and chat.
Right.
And you needed skilled operators at both ends who actually knew Morse code. So it wasn't something just anyone could use easily. You couldn't just pick up a thing and talk.
Okay, so a world of really slow replies and coded messages. It definitely sounds like things were ready for a big change.
Absolutely. Which brings us to a really specific date, March 10th, 1876.
The moment it happened, tell us.
Well, this guy, Alexander Graham Bell, he was deep into experiments, trying to figure out how to send the human voice through wires. And then in this moment that's become totally iconic, he managed it. He spoke the very first words ever heard over a telephone line. Do you know what they were?
Wasn't it something like, Watson, come here?
Exactly. Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you. Simple words, but think about the power.
Wow. Just imagine being Watson, hearing that voice magically appear through a wire from another room. It must have felt like, well, magic.
It was absolutely revolutionary. For the very first time, the actual sound of a human voice with all its tone and urgency could travel instantly across a distance.
Yeah.
And that's really the core of what it means to invent, right? To create something completely new for the first time. Bell didn't just improve something, he invented the telephone.
Okay, so Bell invents this thing. What did those very first phones actually look like? I'm guessing not very pocket-friendly.
Huh. No, definitely not. You're spot on there. Early telephones were pretty rudimentary. Think big wooden boxes maybe mounted on the wall, a separate mouthpiece you spoke into, and an earpiece you held to your ear.
No screen, obviously, no
Yeah.
keypad.
No screens, no apps, no internet, no texting, obviously, and no direct dialing like we have now. Often, you had to crank a handle
Crank a handle. Why?
to signal a human operator at a switchboard who would then physically connect your line to the line of the person you wanted to call using patch cords.
Wow. A whole person involved in just connecting the call? Wild.
It seems unbelievable now, doesn't it? Its only job was voice calls.
Totally unimaginable. Okay, let's jump forward quite a bit, maybe a century or so, to the 1980s. Mobile phones start appearing. I vaguely remember seeing pictures. They looked enormous.
Oh, they were. Huge GE. The first commercially available cell phones were these massive, heavy things. People called them bricks, basically. Bricks with antennas.
And probably cost a fortune.
Absolutely. A real status symbol and incredibly expensive. You were talking thousands of dollars back then. Imagine lugging around something weighing like 2 pounds just to make a call outside.
Definitely not the sleek little things we have now, but things started shrinking pretty quickly after that, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Through the 90s and early 2000s, things got much smaller, faster, cooler looking too.
That's when we got flip phones.
Exactly. Flip phones became huge. And texting started to take off, SMS messaging, and simple mobile games. Remember Snake?
Oh, Snake, yes. On the old Nokia phones. Hours wasted on that little pixelated line. Good times. But even that, it feels like just a step on the way to, well, what came next?
You got it. All that was really just setting the stage. The real revolution, the moment everything changed track, was 2007.
2007, that has to be the iPhone.
Bingo. Apple releasing the first iPhone. That was the watershed moment.
What made that specific phone such a massive deal? Lots of phones had features before it.
It was the combination in the execution. It had that big responsive touchscreen, which was revolutionary at the time, proper internet browsing like on a computer, an easy-to-use music player like an iPod,
Okay.
and critically, the App Store. This idea that you could download little programs, apps to do almost anything, plus a decent built-in camera. It wasn't just a phone anymore.
All right, it became this multi-tool. Your communicator, your web browser, your music player, your camera, all rolled into one slick package. It totally redefined the category.
Precisely. And that's when we really started calling them smartphones. Because they could do so much more than just make calls. I mean, just think about all the things you use your phone for now.
Oh man, where to start? Taking really good photos and videos, obviously, video calls with people anywhere, getting news instantly, social media, finding my way around with GPS maps.
Checking the weather, banking, shopping.
Listening to deep dives like this one, learning things.
Exactly. It's become this incredibly powerful device. And that's a key word here. A device is just a tool or machine made for a purpose. The smartphone's purpose just keeps expanding.
And all of this connection, all these apps pulling data, it all relies on invisible signals, right?
Absolutely fundamental. A signal, in this sense, is basically an electric or electromagnetic wave that carries information. Your voice on a call, that text message, the data for your Maps app, it's all encoded into signals that travel wirelessly.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you stop to think about that whole journey. From Bell shouting for Watson to this. So what's next? Where does phone tech go from here? It feels like it can't get much smarter.
Oh, I think it can. The evolution is definitely not stopping.
Yeah.
We're already seeing innovations becoming more common, like foldable phones with flexible screens.
Yeah, those are cool.
Smartwatches are getting more powerful, acting like mini phones on your wrist. And then there's the huge influence of artificial intelligence, AI.
AI inside the phone. How's that actually changing things day to day?
Well, think about voice assistants like Siri or Google Assistant. It's the AI. It's helping write messages or emails, offering real-time language translation, improving photos automatically. It's becoming woven into the fabric of the experience.
Real-time translation. That alone feels like something out of science fiction just a few years ago.
Doesn't it? And looking further out, the ideas get even more, well, futuristic. People talk about screenless interfaces, maybe projecting displays, technology integrated directly into classes, or even, more advanced wearables or implantable tech someday.
Wow, okay. Implantables. That is sci-fi territory.
It sounds like it now. But look how far we've come already. The pace of change is so fast, you can't really rule anything out.
It's definitely exciting, maybe slightly scary to think about. Okay, before we wrap this up, maybe we should quickly recap some of those key terms we used.
Good idea. So we had invent, creating something totally new like Bell did.
Right.
Then device, meaning a tool or piece of technology like the smartphone itself.
Got it.
Signal, that invisible wave carrying the information, the data, the sound.
Yep.
We talked about the evolution, that slow, gradual change over a long time, taking us from the first phone to today's.
Makes sense.
And finally, the future. Simply the time that's coming after now, which, as we said, looks full of possibilities for this technology.
Fantastic. So yeah, from those first simple spoken words carried over a wire to these incredibly powerful, globally connected devices we all carry, it's just been an absolutely transformative journey for the phone.
It really stands as one of the most important inventions, shaping society in countless ways.
A real testament to human ingenuity, that constant drive we have to connect with each other.
And, in a way, exploring this history is a bit like how you build understanding in anything complex, like learning a language. It happens step by step.
That's a great point. You listen, you learn new pieces, you practice, and gradually the whole picture becomes clearer. You build it up over time.
Exactly. It's a process of evolution and understanding.
So keep listening, keep exploring, keep building that understanding. And on that note, here's something to chew on after we finish. We've talked about foldables, AI, even glasses, but thinking about the sheer speed of change we just discussed, what's one truly unexpected capability you think personal communication devices might have in the very near future? Something we haven't even touched on today.